Listen, let me tell you something about the Jake Paul thing. So the media just eats all his and they actually print it. It's the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, obviously Jon Jones had a serious injury. No secret about it. I'm planning on him fighting in November.
Right, come on, let's talk about the Sphere, man. Because this is the one that has got everybody's imagination. I know that you've obviously been speaking about that today. Just talk to me about the production elements. I've been tapping into your team all week saying, come on guys, what's going on? And everybody's tight-lipped, everybody's keeping it under wraps. Yeah. I can see you smiling about it. Yeah, but just the thought, it sounds amazing.
People that work at the UFC don't even know. We're hiding it from our employees too. I actually built a room inside the UFC that lays out the show in the Sphere.
Right.
And yeah, it's badass. So literally a couple weeks ago, we had our board of directors from TKO come in.
Yep.
And me and Craig Borsari, my head of production, who is literally buried in this thing. He hasn't traveled to any of the shows. He's not leaving Vegas. He's not doing anything. He's literally 24/7 working on the Sphere. That's what a huge project this is, him and his team. And the board of directors came in a couple weeks ago, and we walked them through what the show is going to be, and they're just blown away. So, yeah, one of the board of directors is Jonathan Kraft.
Wow.
Yeah, Bob Kraft's son. So he was there, and he and I are good friends. So these guys are. I'm telling you, this is the most sought after event in UFC history. I mean, we've never had so much demand for tickets as we do this fight.
I bet you've also had an incredible demand from fighters wanting to actually be on this card.
Yeah, and obviously we're looking for mostly Mexicans to be on this card, but not everybody's going to be Mexican.
I like the way that you've worded it. A love letter to Mexico. Obviously, it's Noche and a celebration of Mexican.
Well, it's a love letter to the Mexican people and where they've come from and what they've been through. And I say this all the time. And some of the baddest to ever walk the face of the earth have been Mexican. And I love everything about their culture, the way that they're built, what they stand for, and the way they fight. When you say you fight like a Mexican, it's like the biggest compliment you could ever give a fighter.
We've already spoken about Jon and what he's going to be doing hopefully at the back end of the year. I'm sure that you get asked countless times what's the situation with Conor and when he's back. Obviously we anticipated him back in the summer, it didn't materialise. What is the latest? What can you tell us? When can we see him?
Yeah, obviously Jon Jones had a serious injury that he had to have surgery, and he's recovering, and no secret about it. I'm planning on him fighting in November. So and then Conor, I don't know when Conor's coming back. When Conor is ready to go, he'll let me know. So I'm not even thinking about or talking about Conor right now.
The good thing, I think, from a fan point of view, because we're obviously referring to superstars here, Jon Jones and Conor McGregor and people like that. But we've had the emergence of other superstars coming through as well, one of which, Alex Pereira. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you think of rises of superstars, somebody that just bursts onto the scene and does what they've done, I mean, that must even have taken your breath away, what this guy has done in such a short period of time.
It's incredible. I mean, what this guy has accomplished. I was blown away by Izzy. What Izzy had done in such a short amount of time. And then here comes Alex. I mean, it's phenomenal, especially when you think about how fast Izzy did it and then how fast Alex did it, and the history that they have in kickboxing, and the fact that they could transition from kickboxing and do as well as they've done here is unbelievable.
But also, just like you just said, attitude of the activity levels, the amount of fights that they're doing in such a short period of time is just incredible.
When you think about how long these guys were involved in kickboxing, and I'm assuming the money situation wasn't anywhere near what it is here, and these guys are now, this meteoric rise to fame and fortune. These are guys that get it, they understand. When they were fighting their asses off for little to no money, and now they're making big money, and they're smart. You want to fight as much as possible, and you want as many people to see you achieve these great things as you possibly can, and the UFC has absolutely provided that platform for them, and they're changing their families' lives possibly for generations.
But also from an Alex point of view, I know he doesn't speak English too well, but just the way that he's transcended into the English audience that have really bought into what he's doing.
People have always asked me, do you want everybody, to have that Conor McGregor personality or Ronda Rousey? Yeah, of course. I mean, if you have it, it's incredible, but I don't care. You can be a deaf mute. As long as you are looked at as the baddest human being on the planet in your weight class, people will love you. You don't have to say one word. You don't even have to speak or do anything. All you have to do is fight. But if you have the Conor Ronda thing, it's just an absolute plus.
Is there half a temptation to let Jake Paul find out what Alex Pereira's all about? I'm sure you saw the call out, and when I saw it, I was
listen, let me tell you something about the Jake Paul thing. So the media just eats all his and they actually print it. It's the weirdest thing ever. Never once, not only did I not tell Perry if he won, he'd get in the UFC. I haven't even talked to Perry in a long time. And I didn't even know Jake Paul was fighting. I was on vacation in Italy. I had no idea. There's all these stories that were written. It's ridiculous. I stopped paying attention to Jake Paul when he lost to Fury. You know what I mean? It's like when he fought somebody that was his age and actually boxed, he lost. And I'm not on the kid. I don't even think about him anymore. It doesn't even cross my mind. I have no beef with them. I have no, they're trying to get me assassinated. Nobody's trying to get you assassinated, especially, listen, I respect Perry, smaller, old. I mean, it's the same blueprint. They're fighting older, smaller guys that it's just, I literally don't ever even think about them anymore. It's all bull.
You mentioned boxing there because I know you're a huge fan, and I'm interested to get your take on this because we know that now, obviously, with Noche partnering with Riyadh Season and Turki El-Sheikh, and we know what he's doing in the world of boxing. Firstly, what have you made of his impact with the world of boxing and how he seems to be able to transform, especially the heavyweight division right now, and got people interested in that heavyweight division once again?
Well, yeah, I mean, this guy's been able to make the fights that nobody else could make. What he's done has been incredible. But that's what it took. That's how broken and crazy boxing is. It took Saudi Arabia money to make these fights that everybody wanted to see. But it's great. I mean, it's great for the sport. And I love it.
Regarding between now and the end of 2024, what can the fans expect from the UFC? Because the year so far has been incredible. Obviously, we're lucky that we're back in the UK celebrating what's happening with our champions, but what are you looking to achieve between now and the end of the year?
Yeah, well, the great thing about this sport is, like, we have our plans, we lay out the year, but things pop up and happen that we never expect. Like, look at this thing that happened with UFC Noche. The way that this played out is we've been treated like absolute for the last 20 years by the MGM, and because of that, they allowed Heyman, God bless him, to slide in and steal that date after I had it. And I flipped out, and now here we are with the Sphere, with the biggest, greatest sporting event of all time, which I didn't see coming and wasn't in my plans at the beginning of the year. And had Tom Brady not called me and asked me to go to U2 with him, I would have never even gone to the Sphere and would have never seen it. So the way that this whole thing played out, and that's how the sport goes, People win that you don't see coming. People become stars overnight that you don't see coming. I mean, if you look at, some of these fights that have materialized in just, one event, or a star breaks out, Hamzat Chimaev during COVID and things like that, you never really know what's coming. But the rest of our year is going to be awesome. But there's also something that's going to pop up that I don't see coming right now, like UFC Noche.
Is that the exciting thing for you? That it's constantly like that? It doesn't stop being like that?
I love it. That's what I love about the sport. Every day when I wake up, crazy goes down, and we have to deal with it on the fly. And it always leads to something bigger or some other storyline or something crazy that goes on. And the beautiful thing about it is it's all real. Like, this isn't all fake like WWE storylines. I mean, this is This is real stuff that really happens in real time that we deal with, and it's like a never-ending soap opera, and I love every minute of it.